So this video is about Aces and Adventures Kickstarter campaign's stretch goals. Now, first off, I want to address the fact that I've got a chip clip currently fastened to my glasses. This is not a fashion statement. It just broke, as you might see, so I've ordered new glasses and I'm waiting on those to arrive. But for now, a chip clip to balance the weight of the glasses is what I have. So bear with me. So the first stretch goal, which is the procedural campaign, is just $7,500 above the actual goal. And this is really what I'm hoping that we can achieve because I'm really excited about the procedural campaign. Let's talk about what I mean by a procedural campaign. So for those of you familiar with computer lingo, procedural usually means sort of randomly generated. The first time I really became aware of it was playing Diablo, where sometimes the dungeons wouldn't make a whole heck of a lot of sense because they were randomly arranged in order to be novel every time. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to have handcrafted encounters. These are some of the encounters that you're going to do in the actual main 13 campaigns, plus some new ones. The same goes for the items. You're going to get all of the items that you would get in the actual campaign, plus some new ones that we would generate for the procedural campaign. However, it is going to be randomly cobbled together from those choices. So the way that that's going to work is that there's just going to be kind of difficulties of encounters, powers, or potencies of items, and those would be organized on a randomly constructed deck. Now, we're probably also going to have some choice in there for you. So you'll be able to choose if you want to go against a boss or a swarm for your third encounter, that kind of thing. And the reason that I think that it's a really exciting goal is because, let's face it, no matter how good a story is, eventually it's going to get a little old. You're just going to be clicking through it anyways. The procedural campaign won't feature any story. It'll just be all gameplay. It'll be very fast-paced, always different, always novel. So I think it'll really increase the longevity of the game. And lastly, one of the really nice things is that it may actually permit us to have longer campaigns. So right now, all the campaigns are, you can beat them in like 10 minutes, usually, sometimes 20 minutes, somewhere in that neighborhood. We can have, an hour-long campaign if we wanted to, and that might be flexible, something that you could choose when you're launching into the campaign. So that's a really neat new mode of gameplay that we could introduce into the game, and that's at $20,000. The next stretch goal, only $5,000 above the previous, are the 4 seasons. Now, our plus games are going to be organized by seasons. So first you start off with spring. That's the first game you play. Then you go summer, fall, and winter. They're getting progressively more difficult. But right now, the environment will just appear as it does in sort of the spring mode. We want to be able to, in order to increase that sort of immersiveness and so you can feel the coming of winter, to be able to change the seasons of the actual environment itself. That includes the ambiance, the audio, and as well as maybe having our composer do a few modifications on the theme so that it fits with the, we're not talking Vivaldi here, but with the 4 seasons. And therefore, we can have just a better feeling of progression that would come along with beating those plus games. So that's at $25,000. Now at $30,000, we have the battle banners. The battle banners is basically, if you look at that tapestry that's in the middle, you might call it a table runner. It's that cloth band that goes across the middle of the screen. Right now, it's just going to be a flat green. Though, of course, if you back at the right level, you can get the Inverness table, and that one will turn that crimson and the table a nice obsidian, but that's beyond the point. What we're talking about here is activating that tapestry and just turning it into a canvas, in essence, for some beautiful hand-painted artwork that could be the sort of battle backgrounds. So anytime you enter an encounter, you're going to be able to see the environment that you're in. So you're seeing some examples of those right now, and these are just mock-ups. They're not actually rendered in engine. But I'm just using Photoshop here. But if we are able to hit this stretch goal, then we would bring this into engine. It would wipe in really nice, a little magical effect as it comes onto the tapestry. And again, goes back to the standard color when you're actually just taking in the story. On top of that, we would like to add some environmental effects. These are sort of screen-wide effects, like leaves or fireflies or embers that are coming across the screen, just again to add to that immersive experience and make you feel like you're actually in the place that you're supposed to be. And finally, at 50,000 mark, we have a brand new character. This could be something like a paladin. It could be a druid. It could be a gambler. We'll have a bunch of options for you. And the nice thing is, as a Kickstarter backer, you get to vote on which one we make. So every player that buys this game will be able to benefit from it. They'll have the 6th character. However, only Kickstarter backers will be able to vote on which one we make. This means a whole new deck of cards, a whole new playing style, a whole new library, basically, of abilities for you to make your decks from. So it's a really exciting stretch goal. So those are the stretch goals. Let's hope we can hit some, and with your support, we will. Thank you. So this video is about pop-up dungeons, not pop-up dungeons, Aces and Adventures.
I do that too.
Yeah, I always open the pop-up dungeons folder. To this day.
Me too.
I'm not opening Ring Runner folders anymore, at least. Okay.